Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Diva Kristen, Diva Jayla, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, welcome to Divas
Hello.
with Ideas, episode 2.
Número
2.
dos.
And today I am with bestie Jayla, Diva Jayla,
Diva me, Diva J.
Diva Jayla, and me and Diva Jayla know each other through our bachelor's in social work at Wayne State University.
Boom.
Represent, I guess.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, represent.
Represent.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, we learned things together, became social workers.
Yes.
But we are two different kind of social work paths,
Yeah.
which I think will be interesting to talk about. So I'm more of like the macro social work is what I went for my master's for, which we didn't do our master's together. And so I got my macro social work degree in like community leadership and like development and all of those things. And those are my kind of more specialties. So more of like a bigger lens of things. And Jayla, would you describe micro social work?
Yeah, absolutely. So micro is more of like interpersonal work. It's definitely kind of doing a lot of more individual work. You could work in, well, social work is a very broad field, period, but like more interpersonal work, you could do like therapy, or you can work like in adoption, or like in the prisons or something, like kind of one-on-one, like direct work like with the client, versus macro, which is more on like a bigger platform in some cases. So micro is just more of just working more closely directly with the client. So
Yeah.
yeah, which is kind of what I do. So exactly what I do.
Yeah. So I wanted to also talk about that we did like the social work queer line stuff. And so that's something that I started doing in my bachelor's degree. And that's how we actually first met each other. And so Jayla was like one of like out of the 3 people that were like attending the events.
I sure was, yeah.
You were coming through and we were just having conversations about like what the heck are we supposed to do to connect with each other as like queer social workers when we're online, like virtually, like what would actually be helpful for people to like want to join, because only 3 people were joining, and we're like,
Right.
okay, what do people actually want to show up for? And I feel like that was so like impactful for me to like have that support and then to like figure that out together and feel like comfortable. So yeah, I feel like it just really connects to the whole Divas with Ideas
Absolutely,
thing
yeah.
too.
Yeah, like, and for me, like, it was also a great way for me to like get to know other queer people, because like
Yeah.
kind of around that time is when I kind of like came out, so it was just like, oh, okay, well, here's like also like an introduction of hanging out like with other queer people, but it's also cool that we're also going through the program together,
Right,
so it was
yeah.
just like, it was kind of like a 2 bird 1 stone situation. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and gosh, we were living through a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
the same shit together, and
absolutely.
it was a time.
time was
But I
had.
wouldn't take back a single thing. And the social work queer alliance, I believe, is still a thing. If you go to Wayne
Yay.
State and your social worker, get into it.
Get into it,
Get
yeah.
into it.
This diva launched
So-
it. She launched it.
I did. I was like really like sad at the time, and I felt like I didn't have a lot of support. Like family life was like not the best, and so I was like, I need to like strengthen my supports outside of my usual zone, and I need to do it at school because I didn't have anybody, because I did community college
Right.
first, so I didn't really know anybody, and I didn't take any of like the same social work prereqs everybody did at Wayne State. I was like, I'm here at the community college
Exactly,
and like
right.
do my own little thing, which like community college rocks. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Community college rocks. Yeah, don't shit on community college.
Ever.
You can get free community college sometimes, like if you, as long as you like have a, like you get your degree or something, and that might actually be all you need in Macomb.
Exactly, right.
I literally think, at least at Macomb Community College, they're now doing that. I wish they did that when I was there.
Yeah, really.
Just so you know. But oh yeah, so I was talking about why I did the social work queer alliance. Yeah, and so it was, I could meet more people like Jayla, and then who else? And yeah, I mean, that was like the most like important one that I think I take away from this, because we very much still connect on this piece of like wanting to do the community development and organizing, and not just do what we're only doing like our everyday jobs, because like we're really connected to our community here, and we want to try and figure out what else we can do together. So, and that I feel like is exciting.
Yeah, it is.
For both of us. And so I just wanted to like talk about again, like re-explain the concept of divas with ideas. And so I have written here, an exploration of equitable community development through listening to the experiences of LGBTQ people of color, trans and non-binary individuals, and asking them what they need to really feel supported in their personal and professional aspects of life. Because a lot of the people that we're friends with are people that like went through all these years of university, and they're like, okay, basically like, what do I do now?
Right.
And also like the job market is kind of scary, and like working is scary, living is a little scary. So what are we doing?
We are still questioning to this day.
Yeah, no, that's why we're here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so like I written down like, learn from one another through shared experiences, diverse perspectives, innovative and creative ideas for connection and development of self and the community around you. Because in the end, like it does start with like realizing like what you can really do to help yourself before you can like be in your community and not like abandon yourself, because I feel like that's the expectation a lot as like people who are helpers or people who make things or whatever. Is just like you start to feel like I'm just like this service to my community, but it's like, how are you serving yourself and like making sure that you're protecting, you know, there's still those like really good parts of yourself that you basically have to put out like every day at your job by being vulnerable, whether it's in a creative space or a people talking space. Like that's what you just have to do, and it's exhausting.
It can be, for sure.
Yeah. If you don't have the right supports in place, if you don't feel maybe like supported by a supervisor,
right?
You know what I mean? Or if you don't feel like, I guess like it's like maybe like the job for you, you know, it's just like you don't have, maybe have your people there, or maybe it's just like not the actual path you were going to choose, but it's just like, oh, well, this is what worked, you know, or this is what came to me, so I'm going to try it and see how this goes. But it's like, how am I doing the work to figure out maybe what truly is for me outside of that? And like, who do I even talk to? Because like nobody wants to like talk about work all the time like that.
Exactly.
You know, so we really got to make space for it if we want to develop it. And I don't know, it's hard. But yeah, we're here and we're doing it. Anything else? What makes us excited of the concept of divas with ideas? So I'll let you go first.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, you know, just to kind of touch on what you said, you know, just kind of creating that extra space that may not always be available, you know, and just kind of learning, you know, about these different, you know, shared experience, but also, you know, just different from like what you hear about every day, you know, and just kind of just getting to know like everyone and like how we can just kind of come together and see like what can actually be done about, you know, giving these supports and stuff that we need and everything, and just having the space to just talk about it.
Right, exactly. Because I feel like we're all kind of experiencing similar things, just like in different reflections of each other, you know? And so it's figuring out like what are the commonalities of the barriers that are in there, and then like what makes the most sense for supporting or trying to help remove those barriers. Yeah. So Jayla.
It's me.
Jayla.
Woo-hoo.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. That energy.
Woo! Yeah. Okay. So what are your pronouns? Okay. So Jayla's going to introduce herself personally and professionally to the audience to give a little more background and how those things maybe connect.
Yes. Hello, my name is Jayla, pronoun she, her. I do identify as a cis woman, but I also identify my sexuality is queer, slash gay woman, slash lesbian. Yes. And I went to Wayne State for both my bachelor's and master's of social work. And so that is how I identify personally. Professionally, I do have two jobs. My first job is I am a counselor at a rehab center, and we basically service people who have been in traumatic car accidents. And I am a counselor, and they also have been diagnosed with traumatic brain injuries, so I am a counselor there at that center. And then my second job, I work in the theater background, or in the theater area. In my first job at the rehab center, I don't really speak much about my sexuality. Personally, I don't have a lot of clients who are in the queer community, so I don't really. And then there's not really anyone at my office that is queer. It's I know that they're supportive, but it's just not something that I just openly talk about. But then when I'm in my theater job, I'm open about it. It's just because that is a very open community, and I know people who are also in the queer community as well, and it just feels more safe, more comfortable. Not to say that my first job isn't safe, but it's just more just openly already.
And it's theater.
It's theater, exactly. It's theater. Divas are in the theater.
Yeah.
Divas in the theater. The theater, so.
Yeah.
So it's just more of just a widely just already open conversation that was already there, that wasn't necessarily there in my first job. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So wait, you're gonna answer first?
No. Oh, I'm gonna ask you, and
Okay.
then we're gonna kind of do a back and forth.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. Again. Again. Yeah. Okay. So, Jayla, what do you wish you had learned more about in your time in college, specifically with social work, I would say?
I wish I had known, or at least learned more about what it would be like actually in the field. Just because I feel that there was just a lot of conversation about, how broad social work is. That's why a lot of people go into it. You can work in so many different areas of social work, interpersonally, or in the government, to that extent and everything. But it's just starting out is just incredibly hard. So I just wish that there was somewhat more of just a realistic spin to it, not just okay, you got a social work degree, everybody needs social workers, they're so important, they're always in the community and everything, and then just kind of being kind of graduating and then not have because some people already have jobs set up, but the people who it takes a while for them to get back and get settled into their first job and everything. It's just that finding that initial what now is the most difficult, that I wish that I had just kind of learned a little bit more about. It was just kind of versus being just I feel thrust into it.
Yeah.
So.
No, because I felt the same way, and it was hard to know exactly what to do, because obviously you're well, I gotta work.
Yeah.
I gotta make money, so I'm just gonna apply to whatever,
right,
and see what sticks. Because I think that's also a big part of it is they say, oh, we need social workers everywhere, but actually it depends on what the opportunity is, what's available, the connections.
Exactly.
And it feels like a lot of those things are gate kept. And it feels like it's gate kept until somebody that's already in basically tells you, oh, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
And I didn't know. I was supposed to go to that website and fill out that application, and then, actually have because sometimes you literally just gotta email the person.
Exactly.
And they'll talk to you for free.
Right.
And that's a big thing that we learned about in social work school. Actually, it was several times we had to go through the process of reaching out to somebody that has nothing to do with us, but does social work somewhere else and has their degree, and we'd have to interview them like this. And they do it for free.
Exactly.
They just talk to you because you're someone that's interested in the student and they understand most of the time. And I feel like we should be just doing that more. And it's like, this is just a more concrete space to do something like that. But I encourage a lot of people to like do that because you do, like, things aren't always just going to come to you.
Of course.
And you have to really put yourself out there. And I feel like sometimes that's the expectation that people have. And you really do have to do the work. You have to be willing to put yourself in, you know, situations that, you know, you're not used to.
Kind of making yourself uncomfortable in order to get to where you want to, where you are comfortable.
Exactly.
You know, and
which is really hard, you know, because it, you know, forces you to be vulnerable and like show who you really are to someone and feel maybe like under pressure over just like interacting with somebody new that like, but I feel like it's, you got to keep the thing in front of your head of like the what we have in common and stick to that and just seeing like what you can learn and what you can ask and also what they can learn from you.
Absolutely.
At the same time and getting more opportunities. I feel like that and being intentional with them is like, I don't know, I feel like that we just don't get that outside of college as much. We don't get those opportunities. But yeah, I do wish I had that too. I'm trying to think of anything else. Because I feel like that generally is what it is.
Yeah.
Is the answer to that, honestly. If I think about anything else, I'm like, oh, well, I wish I just like would have had more guidance. And
Absolutely.
like tools about like real life, like people who do the interpersonal therapy and things like that, and all the different hoops and things you got to jump through, like getting insurance and for your practice.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
right.
Like the actual like different types of jobs, like where you can be like contracted
Right.
in a job, and it's like a totally different like tax form on there that you got to learn. And so sometimes like if you don't take the this and this class, like it doesn't really prepare you for those things. And
Exactly.
then what happens if I don't take this and this class? So I just never,
You just never know.
you just never know, or like nobody's telling me I should know, so I'm
Right.
not seeking it out. And so if it's like, if there was a space like this after you were done with school and you knew where other professionals were talking to each other and learning
Right.
from each other, maybe you would know that that would be, you know, a good all these other things that could have prepared you so you didn't feel as anxious going into what
Exactly.
you were doing and feeling like you had to like, you know, take all this extra time for these missteps of that may have happened if you just knew more.
Right.
And you had the support post-grad.
Yeah. Just
So.
like another level of preparedness, you know, it's just
Yeah.
like, just kind of going from, you know, being in college, you know, graduating and then getting the job, you know, sometimes
Yeah.
it's not like that easy, you know, and
Oh,
it's just,
no.
you know, so just kind of having that extra level of just being prepared for like what else is out there, you know, could definitely be so beneficial to people.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
yeah.
Yeah, which I feel like also connects, because I put in here what kinds of support resources are missing for social workers when they first enter the workforce. So I don't know if there's anything else specific that you think of. More maybe if you want to think of it more like in your own job of like, oh, like I wish I maybe like had learned more about this before I had gotten into this job that I am in now, or maybe what you're considering looking for.
I feel like just like in a very like general sense of support, like just kind of a space to just ask questions, you know, just because it's just everyone that like that is at my job, like they've been there for like 30 plus years now. So it's like they get it. They know the game. It's like second nature to them, you know. So me coming in there is like I'm the newest person that they've hired in like 10, 15 years. Like, so it's been like a while. So it's like, you know, and I know I bring like a lot to the company of just like, you know, being, you know, fresh off, you know, the grad wheel and everything and just actually applying, you know, to what I learned in school and everything. It's like, okay, I have this, but I still don't know like everything, you know, and like it's just, it's so hard for them to like explain to me like, you know, what this means, what this does, like how things get billed out and everything, and like reaching out to clients, helping them like stay within the therapy and everything. It's just like sometimes I don't really feel like there's just like a space to just be curious, just because they're kind of treating me as if like I've been working there for like 30 years, and
Right.
I've only been there like not even 2 yet.
Yeah.
So it's like I still feel like I have like so much to learn just within that community itself, but just being listened to, like just a little
and
bit
having
more.
the opportunity.
Having the opportunity.
To do that, and that there's like an actual space to do that where it feels like that's the purpose, is really wanting to know and understand without judgment. Because I
Right.
feel like in sometimes like in other professional spaces, like you're saying, some people just expect you
Exactly.
to like understand and know some things, and like that really just isn't the case. And it'd be nice to be, if there were spaces outside of there where we could still like connect in that way and just ask questions. Because I know like of people that do that like informally, like there are people like, we're all friends still, and we have each other, but we're not talking to each other every day. So maybe that's the first step, is like
Right.
being able to have a group chat with other social workers just to ask social work related
Absolutely.
questions.
Absolutely.
Like that'd be great.
Right.
Because I can do that on my team, because I work on a team of 12 other social workers, which I'm lucky to have. And a lot of them, there's a couple that are like new postgrads, but there's also like seasoned people as well. And like I'm really lucky to
Right.
be in a space like that, but not every social worker has that. You especially don't have that if you're still like out in the job market looking for something. Like,
Right.
who are you going to ask questions, unless you were like really good about staying maybe connected with your people from college. But not everybody has the privilege of that, especially if you like do school online.
Right.
And I think I was just maybe wanting to talk about like as a divas with ideas thing, and whatever, like if we were to do something like that where we created, like, I don't know, some people use Discord or Teams or whatever. I don't know what the platform would be, but what was the other one we used in school? The group
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Freaking WhatsApp. So like, I don't know like what the best platform there is for that, or if it's like a blog. I don't know. But I do feel like we need spaces, not just to like talk about it online, like typing, but also have opportunities to meet in person with each
Absolutely.
other if that's possible, or just like meet online on like a little like Zoom or an online meeting and things like that. I feel like is much more accessible. And then if people wanted to like go the extra mile after meeting those people to like set up an in-person meeting, like
Right.
sure. Especially for people like that I feel like don't have a whole lot of support like post school, and like would love somebody to like reach out and be like, hey, can I ask you a couple questions? And basically like be a little mentor moment.
Yeah.
And have things like that. Like that's the kind of thing that I would love to help develop through Divas with Ideas, and use the platform in that kind of way. And like, even if like, I don't know what you think about this, but like eventually being able to, be that kind of person that could be like a mentor for other people that are considering social work, or are currently in social work school, or are out of the field and are looking for a job, like any of those levels of like a social, or just like to talk on one-on-one with another person, like, because I imagine this is like other people in our profession, like being able to help organize stuff like that. And I guess like, how do you feel about that? And what are your own ideas about that?
Yeah. Oh my God. No. So I think it's also a great way to keep like social workers connected too. So it's just like, but imagine like, just answering all of the questions that we had, for like people who are like in social work school, or even just like considering it or everything. So I think that just kind of building that community and just like kind of bringing them like into the fold, like officially, and kind of explaining like all the different things that like social work can be, and then what social work is versus what they're taught about it before actually getting into it, so yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I love it. I just keep on like thinking about wanting more stuff like that. And like, even if it wasn't like not just social work, like if it was that sector of like the social services sector of whatever professions, and you had like social workers and people who are nurses, and then people who are public health people. I know we have a
Right.
lot of public health friends, people who are just like in like have the counseling or psychology degrees, and all those different kinds of helping related professions and being able to talk to each other more. And I see it also as like we would also like help create spaces for people of other professions and have other people come in who feel like they could be like a supportive person to help guide people and be wanting to like team up with other people to provide just like their experience and their insight. So yeah, like I think about that too with Dan, with our previous one, and having someone where it's like more for like creative individuals, people
Yeah.
who are in graphic design, people who are, you know, I don't know the words, but like the visual arts and all the arts, the fine arts, the fine arts, and having a space like that for people. Like we have so many people in Detroit who are like tattoo artists and like all these people that are really cool, and yeah, to have a place for those people to connect as well, and just creating more intentional spaces like that where people are able to meet each other easily and then can easily access the resources that already exist in that community without having to jump through 3,000 hoops.
Exactly.
Or have to, everything's gate capped, so you don't know anything and everything's like closed off unless you get the really special opportunity. Like
Exactly. That's not what it should be.
that's not, especially like, for our more like vulnerable communities out here who need that support already, just as like people and wanting to feel more connected, like especially like our queer, friends out there. Like we want to make sure that there is an intentional spot for queer people, for people of color, and to make them feel like, as I'm getting to like the next part of this, of like the support that, or like the intersectionality that's involved within these supports, and getting also to the depth of that, because like that's like the first part is kind of this like qualitative analysis by, or not, is it qualitative? Yeah, where it's more just conversational.
Right.
You're asking questions, you're getting abstract answers from people about their experiences, and collecting that and understanding that, and then over time, as we connect with other people that feel the same way as us, like online and like following and trying to maybe build something where we are able to communicate outside of a platform like Instagram and something more secure or whatever, and like talk and have those like online and in person and mentorship type of supports, and being able to connect with people that don't just have the similar professional but similar personal experience
Right.
as you. I think that's like the core of like the intersectionality, and the understanding is like how impactful it is to be able to connect with other people that have gone through like the same things as you and have similar background, and just get it a
Exactly.
bit more.
Right.
Like just speak your language a bit more,
Exactly.
and understand what it's really like to be a person in that position, and to talk about just all the other different things that come with that if someone maybe just wasn't as aligned wouldn't have realized. And I don't know if there's anything you want to add.
Yeah.
To that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, I think you touched on it all. It's like there's like just creating the space period, for people to just come together, and like from so many different worlds, but at the same time, it's like, just those experiences that you don't think anyone else is going through until you hear it, until you hear about it, and like seeing how they were able to get through that, and finding someone, like you said, like who gets it, and everything.
Exactly.
So just creating the space, like, yeah, we were online, for so many years, and it's like there's not many groups that are available like in person, or spaces like that, like, in person. So if being able to just kind of bridge that gap, of just actually being together, as a community, as safely as possible, just can be beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah, and I feel like doing it on social media first feels the safest. You can be safe online, but then like as you build a community and you know, you just like create that like wonderful, good bubble of
Yeah.
support, you know, that can help. Because, you know, you just have like a billion other voices behind
Exactly,
you, basically all saying the same thing of what they need. And like that can really help project just also like would love to see more funding for the gay stuff.
I would love to see that.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this with me, Diva.
Thank you for asking me. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I'm so happy.
I'm so happy.
So happy.
I'm so happy for you.
I'm so happy.
You're gonna be so
Oh,
beautiful.
I'm so happy to be with you. Don't cry.
No tears.
Yeah.
Ain't got no tears left to cry.
What do you say? Like, is copyright or not? No copyright.
No copyright.
No.
We don't own that music.
We don't own.
We don't own the rights. We don't own the rights to that music.
We don't.
Nah, not up
No.
in here.
Okay. So we kind of already talked about this a little bit about like in terms of being able to support maybe some sort of like mentorship for people and just like building a supportive network together is something in terms of our future ideas of working together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm curious, what comes to your mind of things that we've talked about in the past or anything new that comes to light in your mind now after our conversation?
Oh my goodness. Probably the mentorship. The mentorship,
Yeah.
you know, because I feel like we had such good mentors, you know, at Wayne State, you know,
Yeah.
so just to be able to kind of pass down like the just knowledge and skills, you know, and just again like resources, you know, and the level of
Yeah.
support that we had going into this field, to be able to do that for someone else, you know, and like just understand like, you know, what it's like out there, you know, but how great it can be, you know, depending on, you know, where you're at in your career and everything like that. So I just think being able to kind of grow into this career and then pass that on to someone else, or at least bring them into the fold, you know, the way I feel like I was kind of brought into it, you know, can just
Yeah.
can do wonders, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like in a even more supportive way that maybe you didn't have.
Right.
And so you can really provide that perspective for them and then help guide them to maybe what they need the most. And yeah, I see that too, and I see you doing that. And I also like I see you doing like things related to doing like sort of like trainings and like seminars and those kinds of things for people to like help like build like leadership development skills, or literally just like teach something about something related to like your specialty right now is traumatic brain injuries, a whole thing on what the heck is it like to be a social worker for people with traumatic brain injuries and providing counseling, and or just to be in that kind of sector where it's, you know, the cross between social work and medical care,
Right.
which is something that you really don't know a whole lot about unless you did your internship in it. But it's like, then how would you know?
Right.
So yeah, like I feel like, do you see that for yourself of like, or is that something that I don't know, you would like to do like in a space of that? Because that's what I see for Divas with Ideas, is like being able to like provide those kinds of resources for people. What do you think?
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, Diva with an idea.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
You're watching it live, people.
What do we do with that? We gotta do a little diva heart. A little diva. One, two, three. Diva. Okay, wait, one more for good measure. That sometimes I do it too loud and I blow out the mic.
Okay.
So one more time, make sure we get a good heart in there. 1, 2, 3.
Diva. Yes.
Yes. Do I have any other ideas? Any other ideas for divas?
You're always cooking something up. You always have the best ideas.
I'm cooking.
This was an idea, and now it's a real thing.
There's more ideas to come. I have so many.
So many.
I just, sometimes I'm like, are my ideas still cooking?
Yeah. Is she still in the kitchen?
Are they still in the oven? Or are they ready?
They ready.
So, yeah, I guess more will be revealed. For sure.
Absolutely.
I don't know what will be, but more will be.
Yes.
For sure. The diva idea reel never stops.
Ever.
It just keeps
going and spinning.
Spinning around and around and
Spinning.
spinning around. So, yeah, last thing is I just wanted to basically just have a little, what we call a call to action. A call to action is that we, here, you're gonna add stuff every time I finish a sentence. You're gonna add a sentence.
What?
You're just gonna do it, okay? We have a call to action that social workers should reach out to us because we want to support them, and we want to meet you.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. No, it's kind of scary. Yeah. I don't want to scare them. I feel like I don't know how to.
We're calling an action.
This is a call. Wait, your turn. Try your turn to try.
Oh, okay. We're calling to action all social workers to reach out to us for any support.
Yes, we are here to conversate,
to learn, to
knowledge.
Oh, to educate.
To educate.
To create space.
Yeah.
For love and support and resources and community.
Yeah, we're here to do it. Yeah. Do it all. We're here for you, Diva.
Always a diva.
We're here for you, Diva.
Always diva.
We're here for you, Diva. Yeah. We're here for you.
We love the divas.
We love the divas. Should I do the thing where the YouTuber goes, bye?
I think good night is good.
Good night.